What's good, folks? It's Tony here, back with another video. I know I haven't posted on the long form content in a while. I've just been making a lot of shorts and also enjoying creating shorts because it's like just like a 15 to 1 minute snapshot of something. So I always have fun with shorts, but I also did want to just chat a little bit and share some of my thoughts about the Pokemon hobby space. And of course, as always, welcome to my collecting journey. You know, we're all on our own Pokemon collecting journey, and there's no need to compare yourself to others. Just take it at your own pace, and whatever that may be, that's right for you. I feel like, it's kind of timely that to make sort of a longer form video and discussion because it's been a little bit about 1 month since I started not collecting, but like posting content on YouTube. And it's been really, really fun and a way for me to use it as an outlet to express myself in some ways, right? Because before YouTube, all of this ideas or like interests or my own the things that I enjoy in terms of Pokemon, like the cards that I like, the art styles that I like, all of that was just sort of like bottled inside of me. Some of it I probably knew intuitively. Like for example, I knew I wanted to get these four gold V-Stars from Crown Zenith. But there were other things like my interest in like card art, right? The various styles or like the themes and stories that the cards were telling that I really wanted to explore and had a lot of ideas about. And then of course, there's also the investing, or it's not really investing, kind of pseudo investing, or the monetary side of things as well is also something that I was interested in. But slowly I sort of realized that that wasn't a really big driving force behind why I wanted to collect cards. I mean, it's cool if you grab like an ETB or a few, like you see here I have 12, so I'm probably not going to get that many more. Like maybe when Destined Rival, is less crazy, or Journey Together even, I'll grab one of each and then just collect the ETBs because I like how they look. But sort of how I knew that the money side of things wasn't that important to me was when I stumbled across like a prismatic restock and I bought two. Um, and or sorry, I bought three. One I kept for myself. Another one I traded it plus two 151 booster bundles for my PSA 9 PSA 9 Giratina V-Star. And then the last one, the third one, I found on a separate occasion, like 2 weeks from the first time I hit it, and then I sold that one for $110. Obviously, it was, I guess, nice to make a profit on that, but the whole experience of that was just not fulfilling for me, and like I sort of reflected on the idea of flipping something, right? Like proactively flipping, not like, oh, I've had this for a couple of months or years, and then I just go to a convention or a card show and then trade. Like that's totally fine. I think that's actually fun because you're trading something that you like or enjoy that you personally collect for something else that you like or enjoy, right? So that's different. I think the purely like Facebook Marketplace meetup is not really for me because it's just like I don't think I get that much enjoyment out of like listing something on Facebook Marketplace and then meeting a stranger and then nothing against like Facebook Marketplace meetups. Like I bought most of my ETBs on Facebook Marketplace, right? And usually the people are really nice and fun, and they like it's clear that we both enjoy the hobby, so we share exchanges, right? Like I met this cool guy called Chris. He sold me this 151 ETB for I forgot how much. I think it was like 140 at the time, a couple of months ago. And Chris is a super chill guy. We ended up chatting for like almost an hour just about Pokemon. But I think like if it's just like purely transactional, like oh like here you go, check is legit. Like that's just not a very enjoyable experience for me personally. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. I'm just saying like it wasn't for me. Like I didn't get a whole lot out of like that interaction, right? Like it's like not very interesting or fulfilling. So all that to just make like 50, $60. Like that's not a small amount of money, but it's just like it wasn't interesting for me personally. Which made me sort of realize that like the financial aspect or the investing aspect of Pokemon, it's not that interesting, man. I mean, if you're a business, like I really respect you. Like you should do what you want, right? Like if you want a Pokemon card business, that's different. That's just any like any business. And of course, it's great to have a hobby a business that is sort of your hobby as well, right? Like a lot of creators or YouTubers are doing really amazing content, and that's like really awesome, right? Like Jar Chomp, like Jake, and then like Toy Spake Jake, Robo Skills, Bulbasaur. I could go on and on about like all the folks that are really amazing creators that inspire me personally to create. But I think for me, Pokemon is like a fun thing, right? So if I were to have to depend my livelihood on it, or not even as a job, but like significantly try to make money from Pokemon, I think that would take away a lot of the fun from it. Not saying you can't make like extra bucks from it, right? But it's just like not as fulfilling for me personally. And I think like something also really important to keep note is that like, we are sharing the space with other hobbyists, right? It's not like everyone has the same opinion about this hobby as you do, or like to collect the same way as you do, or value cards the same way that you do, right? Maybe you are really in the middle, so kind of like me personally, like a little bit of investing, a little bit of collecting, just enjoying the card, enjoying TCG Pocket, whatever. It doesn't really matter, kind of whatever is fine with you. But maybe you're like a purist in some ways, right? Like a really pure, genuine, some might even say like hardcore. But it's not a bad thing, right? Like collector, like you really do like in-depth research about every single card you get. And, the scale is very wide, or you don't care about the hobby at all. But I don't think that's really the case. Like maybe there are some folks that are sort of like that, but yeah, maybe you're only like 10% Pokemon fan, but like 90% like financial upside. Like that's totally fine too. Like it's fine. Like do whatever you want. Like find whatever drives you or motivates you or gives you fulfillment. Like if you really like the transaction type of aspect of this hobby right now, that's great. Like have a TikTok shop, have a whatnot, have an eBay, go to car shows, trade nights, the whole shebang, like, and I think most folks are going to be sort of a mix of those, and a lot of creators right now are creating content around Pokemon, which is really awesome, right? Like I got into it. A lot of bigger creators, or a lot of the creators that were in the space for a while, have really taken off, and also a lot of new creators are coming into the space on so many social platforms, which is really exciting. But I think it's also important to, both as creators and consumers, because we are all both at the end of the day. Even if you don't make videos, you are still a creator in your own way, because you have that in you. Like we are all creators in our own way. So I think that's really cool, but it's important to not burn yourself out, right? Like it's important to not constantly consume and create, or have that expectation on yourself. Like for example, don't just buy cards 24/7 and give yourself some break. Or if you're a creator, don't create 24/7, because what's important, no matter if you're a consumer or a creator, is to have that spark. Like as a consumer, like that genuine interest and curiosity and love for like finding cards that you like and finding new cards, or stumbling upon new things that you didn't know, or meeting people to talk about that. Like that's a very genuine and pure thing that we need to protect ourselves. We need to protect, because if we lose that, we lose sort of the purpose or meaning of collecting. And I think that sounds sort of nebulous or like unrealistic, but I think like I personally got a little close to that because I was collecting at such a high speed, right? And also creating at a high speed. I was making like a video or short like every single day for almost a month, and that sort of took a little bit of a toll on me. I started realizing that, so I took a break 1 or 2 days, and also like I'm not depending on this financially, but I sort of had the expectation on myself, right? And I think like whether as fans and collectors or creators, we all set certain expectations for ourselves, just because we want to grow, we want to continue finding the next thing, and that's all great. But it's important to give yourself a break sometimes too. And how I realized that was like I looked at also the friends around me, right? Like my friend Matt, who introduced me to Pokemon. He's not buying cards 24/7. even though he, this guy is crazy, man. He completed like 151 master set. I think he's close to completing Paradox Rift and Temporal Forces. I don't know if it's master set, but like even for folks who are more experienced than me in collecting, aren't collecting 24/7, as well as the creators who I really look up to aren't creating 24/7. So why do I have that expectation on myself? You shouldn't. So it ebbs and flows. Your inspiration and your spark for things ebbs and flows. It's super normal. Don't feel or it's okay to be afraid or the fear. Like if you feel like maybe you're losing interest in something, that's totally normal. Like you can't be quote unquote inspired and like have your gears turning in a certain way 24/7. It's not realistic. You need to give yourself time to enjoy things, to take things in, to breathe. And the whole reason why I wanted to mention this is because Pokemon as a company, I'm not saying like they're evil, but like they are a business. They are creating content. They are pumping out these cards 24/7, right? Basically, they're on a timeline, as every business is. That's like very functioning and a well-oiled machine. They don't care about like the mental health aspect of things, and that's more nuanced, right? Like they don't. That's not sort of their responsibility. It's sort of like our own responsibility to take care of our own mental health and say like, maybe I'll take a break. Maybe I don't need to complete like a set, like every single set that comes out. Maybe I don't need to pre-order every single ETB that's coming out. Maybe I don't need to wait for Pokemon Center website refresh 24/7. Like, because if you do that, you could really put yourself at risk of burning out. And that's not good, right? Like, because that's basically saying like you stop, like anything Pokemon related is just like going to be too much or not of interest to you anymore, and that's not good, right? Like you sort of want to have a healthier relationship with something. So I feel like I'm just rambling a little bit, but I really did miss sort of the longer form content of things. And I noticed that a lot of the folks who watch my content on short are just like like they never heard of me, and that's super great. Like I don't I don't mind that. Like that's awesome that I'm able to try to grow my content and find something and create something that resonates with people that aren't following me. But I also want to shout out all the folks who have followed me to this point. I have 75 followers. So that's crazy. Like I never thought I would have that many followers in a month. So I'm super, super grateful, especially the folks who consistently comment on my videos and watch my stuff. You guys are amazing. It's just been really inspiring, and a really unexpected outlet that I've had. That it's been so fun, and I don't know where the Pokemon collecting journey is going to take me next, and that's okay, because I sort of have so far the cards that I want, or the stuff that I want. I have like a lot of Metagrosses, I have a lot of Scizors, I have some of these graded cards in the back, some ETBs. I'm in a pretty good place. Like I don't feel the need to like buy more, or like try to sell to take profit. Like I'm kind of just chilling. And I think like a lot of creators, or sorry, like collectors are probably in that similar boat. But maybe some folks are sort of like pressured in some ways, or like wanting the next shiny thing. And it's great to get new things, but don't put that pressure on yourself if you don't really want it, and just don't tire yourself out, right? That being said, I do kind of want the Lost Origin ETB. I've been sort of eyeing it for a while. The Sword and Shield stuff is just dope. I mean, Scarlet Violet is really awesome, and a lot of folks will say Scarlet Violet is going to be the best set ever. I know it's kind of some recency bias, but like maybe the Sword and Shield stuff is just like a little bit more nostalgic, and yeah, just personal preferences, right? But yeah, guys, I think I'll sort of wrap it up here. Just, man, it's been great, man. I'm just grateful that I can have the disposable income to, rip open some packs, some things, and just, yeah, take it one day at a time. But as always, it's Tony here. Hope you enjoy your own journey. Welcome to my journey. Thanks for tuning into my journey, and I'll catch you guys the next time. Peace.